I clicked the links, join the channel here over at Subscribestar or now over at Odyssey. Dear, if you're an SJW, one of those pronoun people with the blue hair, don't listen to the video. You won't enjoy the video. I'm just warning you now. So what do you do when your hobby is taken over by SJWs? You have no choice. You have to leave. As this guy, I feel his pain. I agree with him, but you can't gatekeep something that you don't own the IP rights to. They can do with it as they please. If they want to take it in the woke direction and have people like Prince Lex over here be the moderators for your hobby. It's like, well, you don't want to be involved in anything like that. Anyway, but the thing is, don't just leave quietly. Get online and spread awareness about the pussies who are doing this to the company, so other people can be aware and get out also and get involved in something else. Don't be passive. And they hate it when you get online and you're spreading. We call it spreading awareness. Or, crapping all over the pronoun narrative or whatever. Don't just let people enjoy things, because that's how we got here. Yikes, my guy, touch grass. Bad take, friendo. Just yikes. Go outside. That's so passive-aggressively lame. Letting people enjoy things is how we got to this current stage of Weimar. Call it, the monkeypox degeneracy that it is. If the company is woke, then it's time to leave it behind. There's really nothing else you can do about that. So what happened is Catalyst Game Labs blocked hundreds of Battletech Shadowrun fans on Twitter after unveiling unpopular community guidelines. So the Game Labs have come under fire for its treatment of the fans, beginning with a hostile takeover of a fan-run online space. A drastic changeover in the company's online presence. This has resulted in the blocking of many of the customers / fans enthusiasts on Twitter, which is, a weird business plan when you're blocking potential customers. So they produce tabletop games subject to controversies. They fired and canceled the core writer Blaine Lee Pardoe for his political beliefs 2 years ago. And then 2023 saw another controversy when the company ousted the leader of the subreddit in order to promote a Pride Month themed fan fiction compilation. Oh, that is so... See, the thing is, on social media, they take away our words from us, so we can't say what this stuff is, which is why they do that. It's amazingly powerful to control the narrative when you can't just call things, R slur, F slur, or G slur, because those are pretty accurate summations. So we have to call things soy, which is kind of a combination of all those words. Like, you know what it means when you call something soy, but it's like they can't make that one. And it's funny because it's like that's a product that the Soyboys love, and they go, "We're not Soyboys just because we consume Soylent Green and we can't, run up a flight of stairs." You look at these people, it's like, whatever you're taking is not what ordinary people want to take, because you guys look like soy boys. They have the soy face. You can go on search engines and you can search for, is it Chuck Wendig? Oh cow! You can search for the soy face, and then the soy boys are going, "We're not soy boys," as like soy boys as what? It's friggin' horrific. Anyway, tabletop game controversy. A bunch of pussies basically are in charge of it now. So this is a long, convoluted article because it involves some fanaticism, because there's a bunch of unpaid people who are so involved with the game that they're willing to do this stuff for free. So the thing is, if a company is woke, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to leave the company behind. So sometimes the companies themselves are woke, but some of that is people like Larry Fink, and those kind of folks are controlling the woke narrative to push filth and degeneracy to help destroy nations. The institutional investors have obviously tremendous power. That's you see that with Hollywood a lot, with them, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and all those other kind of companies, where they were funding movies that didn't make sense. And now it seems like they're starting to turn the corner on that, but I know there's articles about that, about like, oh, BlackRock is running out of, confidence in Hollywood. It's like, I wouldn't count your chickens before they hatch on that. they're not. Hollywood has painted itself in a corner. Maybe some of the other like comic books or something, or the video games or board games, they might back down on that. But the Hollywood movies, Hollywood videos is the strongest form of propaganda ever. I don't see them turning that around. So the thing is that their goal is to destroy nations, which he and the other globalists have been very successfully doing. For proof, just look around. I mean, you're at the stage of Sodom and Gomorrah where people are literally sterilizing themselves and their children. So, I mean, where do you go beyond that? Like actually having anthropomorphic satanic Moloch deity and sacrificing children's to them. So on one side, you've got an SJW company, and their supporters are a bunch of weirdos with the pink, white, and blue flags. The pronoun army, most of them are guys in those choker necklaces and lipstick. Why? Like fads are fads, and as I always say, you can't unsuck a D. But even that, it's like I guess you could move on from that. But like permanently doing something to yourself, I mean that is pretty permanent. That would probably watch you like, God, what a fad we all went through when we did that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, what a fad, but at least you're still around it to move on from it. Fair enough. But they're doing things that are permanent to themselves. Like, oh, you mean like a tattoo? No, I mean like removing their ability to procreate or breastfeed their kids. Oh, that's weird. Hey, if you want to cross-dress, like I just think of it as cosplay, I guess. Knock yourself out. You want to be a furry or a brony? That's kind of the weirdest things I can think of. It's like you're not hurting anyone, I guess, other than your soul. But like you don't want to do anything permanent to yourself. I mean, that's it wasn't that long ago that people would call that a sign of cognitive distress. It's kind of, I don't know what I can say on YouTube, but Hugo Boss says what? Yeah, the Hugo Boss people are telling you not to hurt yourselves. That's a totally coherent argument. So the people who swear they're not going through a phase and wearing the lipstick. So you're 6'2", 250 pounds. You got a choker on and lipstick. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So the people who swear they're not going through a phase, as they very publicly go through a phase, one I suspect that they're going to regret. It doesn't matter that it's a small group of mentally ill tourists who run these things. If a company that owns the right to the hobby is woke, you got to leave that branch of it, and you can, in this case, you can use the older stuff. I mean, I think Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering's got something similar, where you can use the old games and aftermarket, and this has got 3D models. And as some in the comments goes, with 3D printers now, a lot of this stuff you can just make yourself. You don't actually have to buy the name brand type of stuff. And with a Discord, well, you can just start your own Discord, or better yet, a Telegram, a Signal, a Matrix, one of those other sites. And you don't need to stay under the thumb of these pronoun gang SJWs who literally think men are women. I know hobbies are fun, and I also know I'm not supposed to insult the audience who, pays, actually now does pay some of the bills. But you're an adult, and this is stupid. So your hobby is taken over by, the Rainbow BLT Commie Brigade. It's probably a sign that you're supposed to put it behind and like collect guns like adults or I don't know, something like that. So do the blue-haired freaks care about and honestly, it's like the price of some of these hobbies and the price of collecting Liberty devices, it's probably going to be about the same. And like a Liberty device maintains its value for almost forever if it's kept rust free. So am I saying collect? Yes, I'm saying collect Liberty devices and the stuff that it feeds on. That's an awesome hobby. So do these blue-haired freaks care about the hobby? Probably not. They see people having fun, and they just can't allow that. It drives them up the wall. Humans interacting and having fun, they don't understand that. And especially if you look like if you're at the bottom of the oppression hierarchy, that they know they can say anything, they can degrade and dehumanize you. If you're of European origin, especially if you're a Christian, if you're of the blue or green-eyed gang, they can do anything they want to you because the puppet masters who control the narrative allow it. The thing is, they see people having fun and they just can't allow it. So they worm their way into something and they slowly get control and then they manipulate social media to do it, including in this case where one of the mods type of person was keeping files on people who are involved in this hobby, which obviously sounds like sociopathic behavior because it is. You're in this Discord and you're keeping a dossier. Is that what it's called? Just files on somebody. You're keeping notes on somebody, on the other people for their problematic behavior. Okay, that's mental illness. It sounds like you're stalking people and boiling bunnies, if you can get the reference to that movie. So they did it in comics. You're like, we get the references to all the movies. You're not that clever. Honestly, I can't. I'm not even. I remember the scene in that movie. I don't exactly remember the name of the movie. Did it have Glenn Close in it? I think I'm confusing it with Basic Instinct now. Anyway, so they did it to comics. They're doing it to video games, board games, and anything else that they can get involved with and exert pressure on using social media, which is great because now I'm really trying to think about what was it. Was that Basic Instinct? No, that was. Which is great because if parasites destroy something, which allows independent stuff to come to life, like Comicsgate, and which is friggin' awesome. I don't see why you couldn't do that with a lot of other stuff. So much of the mainstream is controlled by these toxic far left globalists that there's no point in getting involved in it. But why am I thinking of Michael Douglas if it wasn't Basic Instinct? Anyway, so the culture around these companies is controlled by BlackRock types, these kind of hidden hands, and they're always going to push degeneracy because they're lizard people. It's like what was that Stephen King book where this demon witch comes and drinks the tears of sorrow. I think it was a library policeman. That was one of his, I don't know, novellas, I guess, a long short story type of thing. Great. That was actually 4 great stories. The other thing they keep saying is how inclusive they are, but they're going to exclude anyone who disagrees with them at all. And like everyone on Twitter is well aware that all this kind of stuff is only focused on the right. And in their minds, they go, well, the right wing are the only people who are problematic. It's like it's not an argument worth having. Just you don't need to be involved in whatever they're doing. Like I said, get into some liberty devices. The thing is, it's obviously, I mean, these are just a collection of very non-serious people, but when it comes down to it, they own the intellectual property rights. Just leave it and form a Comicsgate type of thing. And like they said with the 3D printers, you can just do a lot with 3D printers. And really, how hard is it to create a board game like a Magic the Gathering, a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing? I mean, you can use it and you can make your own rules and have your own Dungeon Masters type of stuff, or create something from the ground up and something that is like a Comicsgate type of thing. It'd be kind of interesting, like board game gate, or I don't know what you call it. Okay, so what was that movie with the rabbit? Was that Glenn Close? I'm thinking Michael Douglas or one of the son of a bitch. I don't remember. I just keep thinking Basic Instinct. It's been so long since I saw that with Sharon Stone, and that was Michael Douglas. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to everyone over at Odyssey, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.